Welcome to the Industry Insider, brought to you by PromoCorner. Each week, promotional product professionals Meg Erber, Jeff Franklin, and Stephen McFadden, along with special guests, will discuss industry news, trends, and events with a focus on educating the promotional products industry. The Industry Insider, the nerdy news you need to know.
Welcome to another episode of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, the National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. Why don't we say hi to Meg Erber? That's an interesting shirt you're wearing there today, Meg. Why don't you tell us about it?
I spent $38 on this t-shirt at Dick's Sporting Goods, which I'm sure like most promo people know how much things cost, and it just burned me up inside. But I still bought it.
So what are you going to do with that after the Astros win?
They're not, so it doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. We are up on the series 2-1. We blew them out of the water last night, 7-0, in case you haven't checked the news. Man, it was just such a beautiful game to see the team come together and like figure out that pitch, and they were bam, hitting bombs. So, but I have to admit, I am kind of I'm always a Phillies fan, like you guys know, Philly sports, whatever, but I'm very bandwagony when it comes to the amount of time that I spend cheering for them. It's not like in my bandwidth right now. But, obviously when the Phillies hit the World Series, the playoffs.
Especially a sport like baseball where, you've got 6,000 games in one season, exactly. And it's literally every night on your television for 4 hours. I don't know how anybody does that. But cool.
But yeah, no, my grandma was a big fan. So Mike Schmidt was like her favorite player, and I could just literally just see
my dad's too. That's funny.
So he threw the opening pitch yesterday, but really, really, really quick story about how I go really hard because it's kind of funny. So I was going through TSA last week. I had to fly to Boston for a meeting, and I just get through TSA and I hear all the TSA agents saying, "Oh, we're going to be on TV. We're going to be on TV." And I'm like, "Well, what's this about?" So somebody was there and from the news station, and they were like, "Yeah, we want everyone to sing, like, Take Me Out to the Ball Game." So I'm in it. I'm like so in it. And I'm, 3 strikes, you're out. And then it gets quiet and I go, "Let's fucking go." Dead quiet, and I just about face and just walked away. I haven't seen that song or anything make the news, and if it did, I'm so sorry and I'm so embarrassed. I just don't know what came over me, and I feel like that's just typical Philly fans right now. Like everyone's in your face, everyone's on a collective bender. And if you guys, sorry, I know I keep talking. I'm so excited. There was a postponement the first night because of the rain, so the next 3 games are gonna be in Philly. So on Thursday, the Eagles are playing. And the Phillies. It's going to be insane. And as Jeff knows, we are undefeated because we just spanked the Steelers this past weekend. So, okay, I'm done. Mic drop.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say spanked, but Stephen, why don't we say hi to you? I mean, and let's be slightly quicker than Meg, considering she took up 1/6 of the podcast.
Well, we didn't have an ad read today.
So. I got nothing to add. I'm not going to go into a Phillies sports rant or bash on your Steelers or, I have no leg to stand on really when it comes to sports this year. So I'm not going to open that can of worms. But it's enjoyable to watch. I too am in the camp that some of these seasons need to be shorter. A 50-game basketball and a 75 or 80-game baseball sounds great to me. Everything else can stay. But yeah, I'm good. Ready to rock and roll.
Well, listen, I know I should be ashamed to wear this hat, but I guarantee you we will not lose this week. It's not possible. The Steelers cannot lose this week.
That might be the only time you can say that this year.
Yeah, it's a bye week.
Asterisk.
It's a bye week. All right. So look, TJ Watt's coming back after. So maybe we'll get 2 or 3 more wins. Who knows? We'll see. Stephen, I think you mentioned that there's 9 games left in the season, so hey, it'll be our first losing season.
Hey, you're not even shooting for 50-50. I think you can ask for more than that, so we're good.
Yeah. Well, we are joined by a very special guest today, Alex Morin with PromoNoise, not Promo Mayonnaise, Stephen. And look, it is customary for our special guest to get a good 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourselves, tell us how you got started in the promotional products space, and what you've been up to since. So take it away, Alex.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it. And a big hello to Brandon, who was chatting online there. I'm Alex from PromoNoise. I've been in the industry for about 20 some odd years. And the way I got into the industry was quite by fluke. And I think a lot of people get into the industry that way. I was an aspiring musician, hoping that I would make it big and become a rock star one day. And I went to you too, Meg? You too?
I have had that dream.
And then they were crushed, absolutely crushed. Went to an ad or a recruiting agency and said, here's what I do. And they fitted me with a company called Debco. And I walked into the interview thinking I would only be there temporarily. It would be 6 months at most. And 19 or so years later, I lasted. And then I left the industry just very briefly in 2020. We had a close call with our son who almost lost his life. And that caused me to reflect and make some changes in my life. I wanted to be around a bit more. And then I started a few companies, one of which is PromoNoise, not Promo Mayonnaise, Stephen. And they're all heart-based projects. That's what I do these days. Is all my businesses are heart-based. And so I do what comes from the heart. I speak from the heart. And I'm just loving what I'm doing these days. And it's been a glorious ride. I never anticipated I would be in the industry so long and work for such great companies, Debco, HPG included, and of course the thousands and thousands of distributors that I met along the way. Just I couldn't stay out. I had to have an identity in this industry because it's just been my life for so long, and I've had so many friends in this industry and still do. So I'm thrilled to be back, and I'm thrilled to be chilling with you guys today. So thanks for having me.
So Debco, that's where I know you from. Yeah, I remember. I couldn't put the face with the company, man, but I actually absolutely remember you from Debco.
Yeah. It's been a long time for sure.
And just to correct everything for the audience, I said promonaise, like PromoNoise, not like 2 words, and I totally jacked up the name of everything. So I'm glad I was wrong. So there's that.
Well,
I mean, let's just blame Alex because promo is not bolded enough, and noise.
Oh
is
yeah,
not,
it's definitely a character choice thing that caused me not a lack of reading.
I need some consulting on my promo, clearly, so that people can read it properly.
Maybe if the background wasn't white, I don't know what's going to help you here.
All right. Well, we've got an exciting topic today, Meg. Why don't you tell us about the topic?
All right. Well, before we get into the topic, because I know we're going to talk about PPS, the next one, live concert series. Alex is actually one of our performers. I really want to talk about his podcast just for a minute because we're skipping over this completely. Like, I've actually sat down and listened to his one, and it was the one about manifestation, and it kind of changed my life a little bit, Alex. It really did. It was very, very good because you have to kind of change your way of thinking. I don't want to ruin it because I think people should listen to it. But hey, can you just tell us a little bit about your podcast? Tell us why it's different than all the other ones that are even in this industry, and you recently got an award too. So kind of like segue into that, and we want to hear all about it.
You're too kind. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. I've got a couple of podcasts. One's called PromoNoise, same name as my business, and it's more business oriented. I talk a lot about some of the things I've learned along the way from many of the mentors that I have in this industry. And it's a real source of joy. It's a quick 5-minute podcast episode every time I do it. And then there's also another one called Almost Enlightened. And I think that's probably the one you're talking about, Meg.
Yeah.
And Almost Enlightened started very shortly after the close call we had with our son. And that was my heart-based, that was my introduction into heart-based work. I've been an analytical guy all my life, thinking from my mind, just always seeing the next step and the next step and the next step. And when our son had that close call, I just decided I gotta start living from this heart of mine. And so Almost Enlightened was a vehicle for me to be able to research different topics and share what I learned and not always be right or not always be wrong. It was just, I always put it out there. Look, it's just my musings. It's just philosophy. It's just thinking. And so, Meg, you're right. I cover topics like identity and heart coherence, heart-brain coherence, manifestation. There's even episodes where I'm bawling and where I've hit a wall. The episode called The Wall, it's just like it was probably a real low point in my life over the last 2.5 years. But it was the ability to be vulnerable and to open up. And I've always, I guess, had a persona in the industry as this dude who goes around and talks a lot and sometimes brings his guitar with him wherever he goes. And I wanted to kind of discover the real me. And that podcast has allowed me to do that. Now I haven't done so much broadcasting over the last little while with Almost Enlightened because I've got so much going on and business is really picking up. But whenever I can, I try and get on and do something. And I've got an idea for my next one. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll put out another episode. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. It's a real passion project for me. I just love it. It's part of me for sure.
And that's awesome. I love that when you can actually take something that you're passionate about and then turn it into a business, but it's still filling your soul. So I think that's absolutely amazing. I love that. Sorry, I didn't mean to get crazy. And you just got an award too, right? Most beneficial sales and marketing aid. Was that for PromoNoise?
Yeah. So for PromoNoise, again, heart-based activity. I'm doing product reviews for suppliers, but in a little bit of a different way. Like I like to look at it from a variety of perspectives, like not just what the product is or what the product does, but what's it made of? Does it end up in landfills? How do people use it innovatively? And I know Brandon, who's I think watching the show still, does an amazing job at that as well. So I feel like kind of two peas in a pod here. But that's what I do with PromoNoise, and I do some mentoring and I do some coaching and some consulting as well. But the videos is kind of what's a lot of fun. I love to get in front of the camera and just be creative and just turn it on. And they're seldom rehearsed, although I do a little bit of research into like materials I'm working with and find out. For instance, I was cutting one yesterday and it's about a silicone product and just the difference between, plastics and silicones is rather fascinating, and its imperviousness to hot temperatures and cold temperatures is kind of neat. So when you get into the science of the product, it takes on a whole new element. And so I like to do that. And I find that even though some of the reviews can be a little bit long, people appreciate it. They're like, dude, like you taught me something. And I really appreciate that. And so it feels good to help people and give them a really well-rounded picture of the product solutions that they happen to be selling. So that's brought me a lot of joy as well. It's been a really fun project to work on.
That's awesome. Very cool. That is really, really neat.
Yeah, thank you.
I like the different perspective for sure on the product and just going in depth with the product. That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to go into, the modern product testing where you drop it off the Hoover Dam and see if you can hit targets at the bottom. And,
I'm in.
I'm sure we could work that out in January.
Slow-mo exploding promo products.
I mean,
Feral monkeys. Do they make it or do they not?
when we all go to Vegas in January, I'm sure we could work that out. We can drop, we can get permission to throw a few things over the Hoover Dam, I'm sure.
Will this double tumbler survive the fall?
I figured out the breaking point of an HPG pen the other day, as a matter of fact. And it's a tiny bit of an embarrassing story, though I'll share it anyways, because that's what I do these days. But I spilled a glass of water, not unlike this one. It was filled to the brim all over my Mac keyboard. Like the thing was underwater. There was just like water dripping off of it. And I had so much to do that day, so many meetings, one after the next, after the next, after the next. And I lost my shit. Like I lost my mind. And it happens very seldom. Like I can count 3 times in my life where I've and I don't know why that particular thing made me lose my mind. But I had a hub pen in my hand, and I hucked it. I hucked it as hard as I could. My bracelet, this one here that I'm wearing, came off, and my hub pen exploded into like 15 different pieces. My beads were all over the place. My wife came running downstairs thinking I'd hurt myself. What a complete asshole! Like I completely lost it. And I share that story and kind of for fun to let you know the breaking point of a product, but also to let you know that these are the things that happen to human beings, right? Like that happens. You do lose your mind, right? And I don't know. I'm talking more about that often. I'm owning it a little bit more, and I find that that's the road to improvement for me. Is just kind of observing what I'm doing and going, well, you can do better than that. And I know I'll never huck another item again. That's probably the third time in my life I've done it. I'll never do it again. I'm done.
No, Alex, no. We need to figure out how to duplicate that to the exact same standard
Slow-mo
in
it.
order to
Yeah.
in order to remove the human variable and test multiple products to find out what pin will hold up the best against the wrath of Alex.
Anger. Yes. I like
You're also keeping Hub in business because you need to order another pen now, and it's just you're just
True.
promoting the promotional products industry. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, that pen had lasted a long time. It did not last against one of my cabinets, though.
There you go. How'd the cabinet fare?
Surprisingly all right. And I was collecting beads though for the next half hour. Like they were everywhere. And my wife knew exactly how many beads were in the making of this because she made the bracelet. And so she's like, well, there's exactly 13 you need to find plus the spacers. And the carpet looks camouflaged. You can't see anything on it. And I was like, you got to own this, dude. Like you got to own this. So I had on hands and knees, like at first feeling the shame and the guilt and then looking for my beads for the next hour or so, but I found most of them.
So did you then dunk the MacBook in a bowl of rice or
yes, Jeff. I tried that and it was so far gone, man. Like when I hung it upside down, there's literally like water pouring out of it. And it worked for a second later on, and then keys weren't working, and then like it was just a nightmare. So yeah, that was the story of the keyboard.
Fair enough.
Well,
all right. Man,
okay.
PPEF concert series. Let's talk about it.
Well, we're excited. This is going to be the second one. We're going to do 2 a year. I know Steven's part of this. Alex is actually one of our performers. Alex, I don't know if you want to talk to it first. Like, you want to give us a little teaser? Like, how would you like to start to kick this off?
Oh, I'm cool with whatever direction you want to go. I'm happy to give you a musical teaser if you like. I'm also happy to let you know that I'm thrilled to be part of this amazing initiative. I mean, anything I can get behind that's educational and education related, I love. And the fact that you're helping people is right up my alley. So when Nick asked me if I'd play, there wasn't a moment's hesitation. And in fairness, I have to warn you that I have not practiced in a while. I'm fairly busy these days, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I do love music, so I'm just we'll let it rip, right?
No, I think that's great. And just for those of you who don't know what PPF does, they're the Promotional Product Education Foundation. And they provide college scholarships to the promotional products industry employees and their children. And it's for general studies, even trade schools this year. And it's open to everybody. It's not just, people like myself and Jeff's kids. We want everyone, like production, warehouse people. You're a full-time employee, then you qualify to apply. So I think, Steven, when it opens up so they can start accepting essays again?
Yeah, so I actually a little bit of news. So I just got back from PPI headquarters where we had the executive board meeting for it, and going into 23, I'm going to be the chair for fundraising for PPEF. So there was a lot of discussions about opening it and possibly opening it early. And once that announcement's made, we'll certainly let you know. But in the past, it's always been the new year, and it goes until the end of March. But we're realizing that we need to move that up because a lot of people are applying for scholarships a lot earlier than that, as well as applying to college a lot earlier than that. So I think that we will see an announcement here very soon about when those are open, which is several months earlier than it has been in the past. So that's exciting news. And just to kind of reiterate what Meg was saying as well, one of the, there's two sides of PPEF. There's the scholarship side, but then there's also the ways that companies can get involved or people can get involved in helping it. One is through supporting events like the concert series, the golf tournament that's in Vegas. And there's also just different types of sponsorships and contributions that companies can make, whether it be towards the Century Club or the Tomorrow Fund or even name scholarships. So definitely check it out, the website, or reach out to any one of us and we can help point you in the right direction.
Awesome. Thank you, Steven.
You bet.
Yeah, and so the concert series, Nick's the MC. Usually we have 3 performers, but we're going to do a little bit different this time. We actually have a celebrity cameo. We can't tell you who it is yet. It's really exciting. We just booked them today. But Alex is going to be one of our performers. And we also have Michael Beal from Tribe Fox. He's the ankle art director, which is really cool. So we're excited about that. And we will be holding auditions for the next one. So super excited. Alex, we would love for you to give us a little teaser if you want to do one of the songs or do a song, any songs.
Yeah, 100%. Let's do it. Now I'm not really totally mic'd up here with the guitar, so you'll be hearing it through the mic that I've got here, but we'll see what happens, right? And let's have some fun. This is a little teaser of a song that
did we bring these out for this or no?
Oh shit, you cannot. Oh, you guys are way too cruel. Okay.
I got mine. We're ready.
All right, go ahead, go perform.
All
Wait,
right.
is Extra going through or out?
Dance,
right?
buddy, dance. Okay.
Let's see how he's doing. Dance. No. We appreciate you doing it. We're just messing with you.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. No sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. In this house it ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, I'll leave the young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
So how many I knows are there? How many I knows are there in that song?
Hey, no questions yet. We got to finish applauding.
You guys are cool, man. You got the lighters going and everything. You were prepared. Woo.
That was incredible. First off, I love that song so much. That was like perfect. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you. Bill Withers, such a genius, right? Like,
amazing.
So cool. Such a musical powerhouse. So yeah.
Can you play Use Me next? Is that the next one?
Right.
Use Me
yeah.
Oh man, well, that and just a little bit more we're going to be having at the show. I know I comment on it too because it was so awesome.
You can just tell him in person. He's right here.
I know, but I wanted to like also.
Meg is that person that literally texts the person that's beside her instead of having the in-person conversation.
Hey, I like my own comments on Facebook, so.
Well, there's also there's a whole aspect of the fundraising behind this too, guys. I know last year or the last time we did a limited edition T-shirt. This year we're going away from the T-shirt, but we really have another really cool piece of merch. It's from Remix Records, and it's going to be a mini record / coaster, but it's going to be all decked out with the artist information.
Record remix.
Record remix. What did I say?
Remix Records.
Well,
sounded like a label. Yeah, Record Remix. Awesome group.
Yeah. So we're really excited. I mean, this is going to be probably, it's going to be the best one yet. Like, it's like the most dramatic season ever. Just like that, but better.
So, Stephen, I think you had mentioned that for the concert series number 3, you guys were going to be opening up auditions. Is that true, or was that Meg that said that?
Probably Meg. I'm
okay.
I've been removing myself from that part of PPEF primarily because of the new role that I'll be taking on, and
gotcha.
it's going to be a lot of stuff. So
Well, listen,
have you got time for a quick audition story? I've got a funny one for you.
yeah,
yeah.
yes, please.
Okay,
do it.
I was maybe 4 months into the job at Debco, so it would have been the year 2001, I believe. And this was the time where American Idol was a big thing. Like, it was a huge show, right? And we had our version here in Canada called Canadian Idol. And so I heard and got wind that the auditions were happening in Canada, and I wanted to go down and audition. And so it was a blackout period, and we weren't allowed to take any vacations. And I didn't want to lie. I didn't want to call in sick. So I asked my boss, and I said, hey, like, is it okay if I take the day off tomorrow? I really want to go audition for Canadian Idol. And he said, dude, like, it's blackout. But I tell you what, call in sick tomorrow. Don't tell anybody and go to the auditions. So I did. And I got to the auditions at 4 a.m. And the lineup was like wrapped around the Sky Dome and the CN Tower. It was enormous. The lineup was ridiculous. And I was 1 year over the cutoff. I think I was 19 and the cutoff was 18 or something like that. So I had my brother send me his ID, his driver's license, so I could fake that I was Jeremy Morin and try and get past these interviews. And every time the cameras would come through the lineup, I would turn myself backwards because I was afraid I was going to be seen on the news and I was going to get busted for skipping work because I was calling in sick, right? So the cameras would come, and they were coming. And like at the time, one of the old prime minister's sons was the host of the show, so he was like interviewing people, and I was literally like shying away from him. Anyways, after 12 hours at 4 p.m, so from 4 a.m. till 4 p.m, I got my shot. And I started singing, and I think I sang a Boys to Men song, if I remember correctly. I literally got about 8-9 seconds into the song, and they said, stop. And I was like, oh, fuck, really? Like 12 hours and you gave me 9 seconds and you're going to can me from the show? And they said, dude, that was spectacular. Like, here's a wristband. You're coming back tomorrow. And
another blackout day.
And I went back to the office, and I told my boss, or maybe I called him out. I know, just so many years ago. And I said, like, they asked me to come back. I got a wristband. And he's like, well, I guess you have a choice to make. Yeah, you're either going to go for it or you're not going to work for the company. This time, he didn't know me. We've since become super good friends, and there's no way he would say that to me these days. But he didn't know me from anybody. I was just some idiot that had started 4 months ago. And I cut the wristband off. Anyway, so that's my audition story. That's as far as I got at Canadian Idol. And who knows how far I would have got. There was a lot of great talent there. But it was kind of a humorous story, and that kind of launched I was like, okay, I guess I'm all in promo. I guess I'm a tote bag guy, and that was it.
Oh man, that's a crazy story, because literally, your life could have been completely different because of that. That's your pivotal. That's your moment.
So funny. Funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have a story like that?
I don't even know. Yeah. So there was this one time that I auditioned for the PPEF promo concert series.
I was like, he really does.
I didn't even get 8 or 9 seconds. I think it was probably like negative 2.5 seconds. And Nick just, canceled me out right away.
Me too. He was like, Meg, no.
Well, in fairness, you were dancing more than singing. So I kind of get that one.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Steven should have made it. I don't know why Steven got extra.
I had both the dance and the singing quality, and just nothing.
Locked in. Yeah.
So, Alex, do you ever ask yourself, like, what would have been?
Yes and no. Like, I think for a long time I did, and I think I may have been a bit resentful for a long time, but I found what I was looking for, which was an opportunity to perform. And when you're a salesperson, you're performing all the time, right? Whether you're in front of people at a boardroom table, or you're doing an EME, or you're doing some kind of speech. And then I would bring my guitar on the road with me, and at the end of a day, I'd assemble 10 people, and sometimes people would bring their guitars as well, and we'd play. And so, I didn't do what I wanted to do, which was be on a stage in front of hundreds of thousands of people and tour the world. But a lot of great things happened. I was able to be around for my family too, which was probably more important than being a rock star. So, And there's still plenty of runway to do what I want to do from a creative standpoint. And I think that's morphed a little bit these days. I no longer want to be a rock star, but I do want to continue to share and to call it performing, but performing gets a bad rap. Like we think that it's all fake when it's performing, but performing just means you're emoting, right? You're using your energy. And so I still want to do that, but I don't know what that's going to look like in the future. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and loving it.
Oh, well, we're very glad to have you, not only on the podcast, but for the next live concert series. We're very lucky and very thankful that we get the Alex Morin.
Right back at you. Right back at you.
So Alex, where can people find you to follow up on PromoNoise and all the podcasts and all that good stuff?
Thanks, Jeff. PromoNoise.com is the website. We've probably got about, 30 or so really innovative reviews on there, and also some fabulous interviews from the recent Canadian national show. And I try to get behind the person. I try and discover what really makes them tick and where their heart's at in the interviews. And so I'm pretty proud of those interviews. So promonoise.com is the place to see it. And there's blogs on there. There's podcast links and all that stuff as well. And if you're interested in the more spiritual side of my podcasting, then check out Almost Enlightened. And it's available anywhere on Apple, Spotify, all those cool places. And that's where you can find me these days. And I'm Alex at promonoise.com. Easy to find.
Very cool. Well, definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing with us a little bit about the upcoming concert series. And I'll just drop that back down in the comment section for everybody here to see. So make sure that you go support. It's November 10th at www.ppef.us/live. Go see Alex and Meg. Who did you say the other performer was?
The other performer is Michael Beal from Tribe Socks, and then we have a cameo from somebody famous.
Woo-hoo. Well, hopefully it's not Randy Couture to mispronounce your name again. That would be
Erber.
The Terminator Erber. All right. Very well. Well, Alex, definitely appreciate you coming on. It was a great episode, and definitely look forward to catching you guys next time. So until then, take care. We'll see you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.